Hey, merci, merci. Thank you, Matt. That was wonderful. Thank you to all the panelists, and I was really inspired by the video game talk, and I'm taking advantage of my communication chance here. Is I'm an artist, and I'm going to be developing a video game, and I might be knocking on some people's doors. So just a heads up on that. But that being said, we are at the end of a long day of hearing all kinds of perspectives, learning all kinds of new things, or reaffirming things we knew. So it's time to really think about today. To do that, I'm going to encourage you to do either a change of movement, a change of position. So either stand up, move around, maybe close your eyes, take a deep breath. Just kind of take in the day, right? To take in the day, and for some there might be a lot of ideas juggling, right? Yeah, that's a segue. For others, you might just be contemplating the one thing that really stuck out. But here's what we need to do next, and this is a group exercise. I warmed you up with the beaver exercise. Now is the real deal. We need to put together a list of things that we really enjoyed, right? Things that stuck out, things that were like, yeah, we should see this at the next summit. Or maybe it's things that you notice were missing. Maybe you noticed something was missing today. We need that in the list too. We also need the things that, les points saillants. Hein? Dis-nous qu'est-ce qui t'a vraiment changé d'idée, hein? The game changers for you, the things that might have inspired you. So we need that in a list. And we've got a chat function, and there's a lot of extremely intelligent. On est très capable. Hein? Vous êtes très capable. So go ahead, fill up that chat. Okay, and we're going to finish on time today, which means you've got maybe 12 minutes to fill up the chat. But that doesn't mean it's the only time you have, right? We'll have emails that you can send, and you can always send those emails if tomorrow morning you wake up and you go, oh, we need this next year. Hein? Parce que, après tout, c'est nos idées qui vont rendre le futur une meilleure place pour tout le monde, puis des meilleures conférences aussi. Hein? So, while you're thinking about all that, we're going to have Gordon come back. He's got a few things to say, and voila.
Well, thank you, Rob. To wrap up the day, I'd just like to offer just a few additional thoughts. So one thing that people have asked us about is this available afterwards? In other words, if there was a presentation that you felt especially inspired by, could you watch it again? And the answer is yes. We have been recording the entire day's proceedings, and they will be made available as soon as we can on YouTube. There is, in fact, a recording of last year's Heritage Summit. If you weren't able to attend last year, or if you wanted to watch it again, it'll be there. It's there already. And we'll be adding the recordings for this year there. Also, soon after the summit wraps up, we'll be sending out a participant survey to everybody who registered. We would ask you to please respond with as much detail as possible. So some of the things you're thinking about right now, the things you liked about this year's summit, the things you didn't like, ideas for maybe future events. This is all stuff that we would like to hear about in the participant survey. So please, whatever possible you can give us, do so. We are going to be preparing a What We Heard document to sort of summarize the day today, because there was so much great feedback that was provided that it was kind of hard to actually capture it all in real time. So we will be going back through the recordings, we will be making detailed notes, and then we'll produce a What We Heard document so that we won't lose the good content that we heard today. Also, you'll recall from the morning session that we produced a document called Heritage in Manitoba 2020, sort of an overview of where we think heritage may be going or should be going in the future. We are going to be revising it based on the feedback we received, so if you do have any comments on the document, it's linked on the Heritage Summit website. You can review it, and if you have any comments to share with us, please do so that when we're making those revisions, we can incorporate that feedback. If you have ideas for next year's Heritage Summit, yes, in fact, we are committed to do a Heritage Summit next year. So long as we can obtain the necessary funding, we will go ahead with a Heritage Summit next year. We're hopeful that next year we can offer a hybrid format so that there will be an online component for everyone who may not wish to drive all the way to Winnipeg, for example. But there will hopefully be an in-person component as well, because of course there's all kinds of more informal conversation that can happen when you're all together in the room. So stay tuned. Check periodically on the Heritage Summit website, and we'll provide updates as we have them. In terms of ideas for next year, though, we do have some ideas. So, for example, we are going to review the feedback we have received already and will receive from you over the next little while. And we do respond to feedback. If you recall the presentation earlier today, Tracy Turner talked about the ways in which we have modified this summit based on the feedback we received on last year's summit. So, again, please give us that feedback, because we do take advantage of it. Next year, undoubtedly, we'll return to some of the same themes as we had in these two first summits. So decolonization, the engagement of youth, the special challenges for rural heritage. These are all themes that I think there's going to be no solutions found immediately. We're going to have to keep talking about them, and I anticipate they'll come back again next year. Engagement with other provinces. That was an idea that was raised earlier today. I really like that. You know, there's often great ideas that can come from talking with people in other jurisdictions. A provincial registry. Perhaps that's part of this heritage hub that Monique and Bareth talked about earlier today. And, you know, there's lots of enthusiasm for that, so we're definitely going to look into that. Looking at about money, that's ultimately a major consideration in all of this. You know, none of us can do things without any resources, and it's important for us to look at where the money comes from. If there are any opportunities for more, obviously we need to explore those. And then, of course, finally, I think a thought for next year is, how do we foster the job market? We heard this from both Sabrina and from Cheryl. Jobs, jobs, jobs. You know, many of us have, of course, a lot of white hair, and so that's not immediate in our thinking. But, of course, if we want to engage the next generation in a meaningful way, we've got to ensure that we don't lose a lot of that great talent to other places. So the job market is, I think, going to be essential. Finally, I'd just like to close by saying that I'm very encouraged by what I heard this morning from Vanya Gagnon, that this new Community Programs and Services branch that's taking over the responsibility for the former Historic Resources branch. I can see lots of wonderful possibilities there. I really look forward to meeting with Vanya to talk about our provincial heritage agencies, what we can offer, and how we can move ahead, because I think we do have lots of real tangible opportunities to explore. So with that, I'll turn it back to Rob for a few final remarks. Thank you all for attending today. It's been a wonderful day.
Merci. Excellent. So, I see the chat lighting up. Vous faites très bien ça. Keep going. We've got a few minutes left for those kinds of ideas to get down right now, right? Those are the folks that might have the ideas ready at hand. Ceux qui pensent vite, qui sont vite, c'est patin. But, you know, for me, sometimes I really need to take time to think about it. So again, I'm going to remind you that hold on to these thoughts, and tomorrow morning, maybe it's in a week, send an email with suggestions, things that you loved, things that you might not have loved so much, things that you would love to change for next year's summit. So, voilà. We're going to finish off, though, by des remerciements. Merci, thank you. Miigwech to everybody involved. The Manitoba Provincial Heritage Agencies, which include the Association for Manitoba Archives, la Société Historique de Saint-Boniface, the Association of Manitoba Museums, Manitoba Archaeological Society, Heritage Winnipeg, Manitoba Geological Society, Jewish Heritage Center of Western Canada, Manitoba Historical Society. Merci beaucoup. Right? And of course the sponsors, which is the Province of Manitoba and the Winnipeg Foundation, etc. But this whole day was organized on behalf of these folks. And well, there's actually people that are doing all the legwork. And I've got a list of the organizers today. So merci beaucoup, Ken Story, Monique Brandt, Stan Carboni, David Cuthbert, Dan Furland, Randy James, we practiced, Jarnowski? Woo! Michel Lagacé, Gord McBean, Dan Stone, Cindy Tugwell, Tracy Turner, Alicia Gooden, our tech here today. Merci beaucoup. I forget your name. Sunny?
And Jeremy?
Jeremy. And, well, I've already mentioned you. But merci tout le monde. We do have a few minutes left, so we're going to just put up the graphic at the end of the day. So if anybody wants to add to the chat, we're just going to say merci, thank you. And that's a wrap, I guess. We'll see you next year. Hein? À l'année prochaine.